there is a balance of $10,000 which is a credit balance, and the same balance has been put up as a balance on the other side. And then the accumulated balance basically refers to the balances which has been carried from the last period or the last fiscal year as well. So the net balance as of now over here is $10,000. Now suppose I want to check whether this $10,000 includes one particular business transaction or multiple business transactions. So for that you can double click on the amount, and once you double click it will show you the number of different transactions involved. So as you can see, it has been generated. So you can see over here on the screen it has got only one transaction. The document number is over here on the screen. As you can see, the document type, the document date when it was being posted, and then the amount in local currencies have been displayed to you as $10,000. So this is how even within the GL account balance you can go for checking the document numbers or the business transactions, with how many business transactions or the document the amount came out to be $10,000. So the details can be looked by double clicking on the amount. So going back, this is how you can check the balance display for the GL accounts. Mind it, this can be used only for the ledger accounts. It cannot be used for customers or vendors. The customers and for vendors will be looking after in the separate module of accounts receivable and the accounts payable part. So moving back, this is how it can be executed. Now moving on to the screen, this is an old transaction code. There is a new transaction code from SAP which is known as FAGLB03. This is a new transaction which SAP recommends to be used. However, the functions of both the transaction is more or less the same. There is no differences among them. But whenever you execute the old transaction, that is FS10N, you will see that a message comes over here on the below side. It says the new general ledger is implemented. Use transaction FAGLB03. That is the latest or the new transaction as per new general ledger perspective provided by SAP. So if we execute the new transaction, that is FAGLB03, FAGLB03, enter, you can see it is again the same screen. There is no difference in the screen. If you want to confirm that I have executed the same transaction, you can go over here on the side, over here on the right hand side below. You can see over here the transaction over here has been FGLB03. So this is how you can even check the transaction on the screen, that what transaction has been executed. Even you can check the user ID and the program executed in that as well. So the transaction which we are using is the new transaction, that is FAGLB03, and in that again the same procedure, everything is just similar. We need to put the account number, then the company code, and then the fiscal year, and now we can go and we can execute the transaction. So once we execute it, now you will see that the same balance have been reflected to you over here on the screen. So this is how you can check the balances at the end of a period. You cannot check for a day-to-day basis. It will reflect you at the end of a period only. So that is all about GL balance display, which displays you the balances of different ledger accounts. And now moving on to the next is GL line item display, that is FBL3N. So again for FBL3N there is a new transaction code by SAP for new general ledger accounting, that is FAGLL03. So this is what you need to execute. Now let's move on to the screen FBL3N. So the GL line item display basically gives you the detailed itemized detail of the ledger accounting, that in a particular ledger how many number of transaction has taken place, what was the date, what was the posting date, what was the document date, what was the amount, then what was the text code used, what were the cost centers or the profit center. So this gives you a detailed ledger view for any ledger within the SAP system. So let's check in the SAP screen now. FBL3N, enter. Now instead of taking the company code 1200 because it doesn't have much of the transaction, let's go for first with the company code this, then later on we'll check with some other company code which will give you abundant data for understanding perspective. So you need to select again the ledger account or the GL account number. You need to put the company code, and then you need to select the open item, cleared item or all items. Now there is a concept that GL line items are of two types. One is an open item, one is of cleared item. Open item means the items which are standing, which has not been cleared, which has not been completed because of certain reasons. For example, when an invoice is posted from the vendor side, that particular accounting entry is affected in the ledger account, but until the payment against that invoice is done, that particular line item is not completed. So until the payment is done, it will keep on as open item. But once the payment is done to the vendor, those particular line items moves from open item to cleared items. So if you want to check the open items on a particular date, you have to put the date over here. It could be a current date, it could be a previous date, depending upon what kind of a data or what kind of informations you are looking for. And similarly, if you want, you can put as all items with from and to date. For suppose for example, I am looking for a particular period, every itemized detail of a ledger for a particular period. So in that case, you need to put the date for that particular period or month from 1st till 30th has to be put up over there. So we will be executing this as an open item part right now. So we need to select the GL account number, then the company code, and the open item has to be selected, and the date has to be taken over here on the screen, and then we can go to execute. So once I execute, it will show me the details. You can see over here the details are there. There is assignment, then the document number. This document number is important. It refers to as the voucher number or a unique number by which that particular business transaction can be referred to for future perspective. Then there is a business area. If a business area concept is used, then there is document type, document date, posting key, then amount, local currency, text. And if you want further more details you need, then you can go to this option over here as change layout. You can see over here change layout. So once you click onto the change layout, it will give you a list on the screen, and if you want any new fields to be taken up from the right hand side, you can add on those particular new fields. Like I am taking up the posting date. Similarly, I am taking up the line items. You can further go down, and if you need any other things, like I am taking the fiscal year, then I am moving down to For any other options, if you need, you can take those things as well. So whatever needed, you need to select that like this. So I have selected this and it became highlighted, and then you need to go to the arrow over here and you need to drag these things from the right side to the left side. So click onto this arrow and it will take those things from this side to that side. You can see over here. So these were the things which has been taken up from the right hand side to the left hand side, and now we can go to copy or enter. So you can see now these were the fields which has been further added up, which were not there earlier for information perspective. So the posting date is there now, the fiscal year is there, the reference number which works as an invoice number in certain cases as well has been taken. So this is how you can execute your GL line item display. Now suppose I am taking up another GL for a different company code so as to show you a more bigger picture for understanding perspective. So now we are going for a different company code, that is 1000 for GL account number 100000, that is a 1 5 times 0. This GL account is for land, and in this we'll be looking after how a huge or a detailed descriptions can be taken up for the land account, for the land ledger account. So now executing this, so once you execute, you can find that there are around 37 items displayed. So these are the whole list of the items. There is an assignment which refers to certain codes which is used for the business transactions. Then the document numbers are there on the screen. Then there is the business area which has been used on the screen to you. Then there are document types. Then there is document date, posting keys, amount is there reflecting to you. There is a local currencies, a different one over here in this INR is there. Then there is a text code is being used, and the narration are also being used in some of the cases. Similarly, if you want, you can add further few things from the change layout option. Like I'm taking up the posting date, then I would be taking up the fiscal year. I can take up further more things if I want, like I can take the profit center, like I've taken it on the left side, and then you can see over here now that the posting date is there on the screen. There is fiscal year 2013, then there is 2014 as well on the below side. There are different profit centers over here as well. So this is how you can execute your GL line item display, which gives you a more detailed ledger statement. So this works as a ledger statement which gives you all the details related to the transactions one to one, with each and every steps or each and every details with respect to the ledger account. So this is about the GL line item display, that is FBL 3N. Similarly, you can use a new transaction code called FAGLL03, which is just a replica of FBL 3N. So moving up to the next is reverse a document. The transaction code for that is FB08. Reversing a document, basically when a document is been posted wrong due to some problem or due to certain clerical errors or certain other different reasons, those documents need to be reversed, because you cannot go and correct the document which is already posted within the SAP system. In SAP system, once a document has been posted, you cannot correct the amount or the date, or you cannot change the ledger accounts. So a lot of things are there which you are restricted. You are not allowed to go and make the changes in them. So as a result of which, we need to reverse the wrongly posted document within the system, and then we can go and post a fresh new document or transaction within the SAP system as a correct one. So how we can reverse a document? Let's move on in the SAP screen. The transaction code for that is FB08. Enter. So over here on the screen you can see I have executed the transaction FB08. It says the reverse document header data. Now in this you need to put the document number which need to be reversed. Every business transaction which are posted has a document number which is unique.